Anyway, in the previous video I introduced you to circuit components, I think, and their symbols. In other words, if I drew a circuit, would you be able to identify the components in it in real life? Anyway, today's video is just to introduce you a little before we delve into details. So in any electronic device or circuit, we shall have wires. Now the symbol of a wire, it's usually just a line, meaning that something can flow from one end to the other. Now a resistor, at times this is how we will draw it, or at times it's just something like that and then zigzag like that. So those are the two symbols of resistor. If you see any of this or that, that's a resistor. Now a diode is basically a triangle with a dash on the top like that. Basically these are just like leads, connection points. So a diode will be drawn this way, and because a diode can only allow power to flow in one direction, usually this arrow shows you in what direction current will flow, from this to that. That means ideally we could reason that this is its positive terminal, that's its negative terminal, which is not the case for resistors and wires. In whichever direction you connect them, current will flow. Now that brings us to the third thing, that is a capacitor. Now capacitors are usually just two parallel lines. That's the symbol. Now a capacitor also tends to have terminals, and now, like if you look at the very common capacitors, you will find that it has a positive and negative terminals. So in certain scenarios, you'll find that one of these parallel lines is made thicker than the other to help you know which is its positive or negative terminal. But for now, let's just look at it as something, just two parallel lines. Now a transistor may not be very common in most electric circuits, but these are, now when we look at these components down here, we are going into more advanced electronics. I think we'll get there with time, but for the sake of these subsequent videos, we'll begin with the basic ones and exhaust them. Now a transistor, you will basically have a circle and some sort of transistor has actually it has actually three terminals, but for now we not dive so much into that. You just know that this is the symbol of a transistor. Now if you're a little curious, an inductor, we will actually draw it and then create a coil of sorts, right? Because an inductor is usually basically a coil anyways. So yeah, comes like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. So I believe in the subsequent video we'll go in details with each of them to allow you appreciate why I'm introducing you to that. And for now, I just felt like I should show you some live examples of some of these components to keep you curious and wishing and looking forward to the subsequent videos. So a wire is usually just a simple piece of metal. For instance, this one, it could be copper, it could be aluminium, it could be iron, but yeah, that's an example of a wire. Now I think, let me show you the example of a resistor. This is a resistor, and I think this almost looks like what we've drawn there, but anyway, that's just a joke. But this is how one of the resistors will look like, and I wanted to show you how a diode looks like in real life. Okay, so this is how a diode looks like, and since I told you it is directional, it always has that mark to allow you know that this terminal is different from the other. Now alright, so I have put it in a manner that represents what is here. So where you're seeing that that line there, that line is what you're seeing here. So that shows you that in this thing current will flow in that direction. So that's a diode for you. Now this is a capacitor. Of course, we'll go deep also later on in capacitors. They also have different types. So we'll look at what it is at the very basic and what it does and the different types. Same will be done for all the other components you've seen. Now, just to show you, it has two terminals. I don't know whether you guys have been seeing that terminal and this terminal, and that is your capacitor. It looks like a dry cell. It wants to roll away. Now I think I wanted to show you a transistor, but I don't have one on me, so I think you will see that in subsequent videos. Anyway, be certain to like the video and subscribe. So for now, I just need to tell you that in the next video we are going to look at wires and probably dig a little deeper into what the wire is. I think at that point we will also cover resistors in the following video, and after resistors we'll go into diodes, and after diodes we'll go to capacitors, and then transistors, and then inductors, and then any other component, for instance transformers. And yeah, feel free to always return. Thank you. Like, share, and do subscribe. See you in the next video.